Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Keeping It Real Estate with Gavin and Nici. Hi, Nici.
Good morning.
We're here to talk about the monthly market update.
Yes.
We bring it to you every month, and so this is the October 2025 monthly market update for the Glow region. And remember, folks, that means that we are reflecting and discussing September's numbers. So the October 2025 monthly market update reflecting September's numbers, because we don't have October's numbers yet.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely. And I'm already thinking like, wait a minute, we're in, you're right.
Yeah, but that's what we do. We're with a month lagging, right? So I just always like to remind people of that. Next month, we'll talk about October's numbers.
Absolutely.
So a little bit of a thematic here to set the stage for our discussion today. I would say that in the Glow region, prices are up year over year.
Okay.
From this time last year to now. The pace is a little bit slower, okay, overall. And this month, Orleans County leads on the median sales price.
Really?
Yes, which is interesting. See how it changes every month throughout the Glow region,
Yeah.
Genesee, Livingston, Orleans, and Wyoming counties. So we're about to unpack this and keep it real.
Okay.
Let's talk about a little bit about the Glow region as a whole with regional headlines in regards to the monthly market update. So region-wide, single-family homes, the median sales price was $276,000, $777.
Okay.
So just below $280,000 was the region-wide, all of the Glow region, single-family median sales price, with average days on the market around 35 days.
Slightly up.
Yep, a little bit up, but again, still aggressive. Things are pushing, right? Mm-hmm. And throughout the Glow region, we had 446 listings. So we have 446 active listings. That would include new listings that came on board in September, as well as those that are still sitting there active. Okay. And we closed 141 transactions in September.
Wow.
And that's more activity than we had a year ago in September of 2024. So September 2025, we had 446 listings, including new listings, and we closed 141 transactions. And that's more than we did the previous year.
And that does not include anything that is currently in escrow or
right, under contract, et cetera. That's what closed. Here's everything that was active, and here's what's closed.
Okay.
And so what we also saw in September is a region in the Glow region, all of the counties together, that conventional financing and cash still lead the way for purchases, although we are seeing FHA financing present. You're going to see a little bit of VA and USDA in there, but certainly conventional and cash are continuing to lead in closed transactions with a little bit of FHA financing present. So bottom line, good homes are still moving in about a month. If they're priced right. They're priced right? So
exactly, that's true,
right?
yeah.
So we always talk about price, condition, location. So this is still a healthy, great market throughout the region. Homes that are in good condition, presented well, priced right, they are moving in about a month, going under contract in about a month.
Which is still really fast.
Yes,
it is.
It's
amazing to me.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So that's
bubble's
good news.
working.
So let's continue on with the market update. Let's talk about the September 2025 numbers for Genesee County and focus on that county for just a bit. There were 40 homes that closed, and we're talking single-family homes, 40 homes that closed in Genesee County in September, which is great. And the median closed price on that was $242,000 and change. Okay. Days on the market, we'll ring a bell, about 35 days on the market.
All right.
Okay, so for them to go under contract, not close necessarily. And we had about 104 new listings in September. So remember when we were talking earlier this summer that we kind of had a delay?
Yeah.
And the market wasn't like the big bang we thought late in the spring or early in the summer. Things started kind of revving up as interest rates went down. And so we had a really good September here in Genesee County.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So what we found in general here for Genesee County is that we have balanced financing, okay, meaning that there was not just cash and conventional, but we saw more loan products closing deals like FHA, USDA, and VA financing. Okay. And where we saw the hottest sort of tier of homes is the entry to mid-level tiers for home prices. So maybe homes in the $100,000 to $200,000 range, maybe up to $250,000. That was the hottest range of home prices that really flew off the shelf in September in Genesee County.
That's good to know. Okay.
Yep. So that's really what worked in September for Genesee County. So again, seller, my tip to you here based on September numbers was if you price to today's comparables and not last spring's headlines or markets from before, your homes are still selling relatively quickly, about 35 days.
Yeah.
And buyers, because homes are moving, you do have more choice. There's longer days on the market, but that doesn't mean that you can't be ready. You have to be. You have to have that approval in hand. You have to have your finances ready, cash ready if you're a cash buyer, and be ready to still write an offer that's clean. And what I mean by that is sellers are still looking for the least amount of contingencies possible. Right?
Okay.
So financing is a contingency, but if you still have a house to sell or you're asking for concessions and things like that,
Okay.
they're going to pause a little bit. It doesn't mean you can throw everything at it in your offer and make it very complicated as a buyer. You still should have, to be successful, expect to have a clean offer. It doesn't mean that that's how all transactions are going under, but that's sort of still the expectation in Genesee County because there's enough buyers with whom you're still competing.
Exactly.
Competing, excuse
Yeah,
me.
no, we are in that market for sure.
Yeah, so that's Genesee County, and that's what happened in September. If we move on to Livingston County, our L in the GLOW region, September 2025 data is as follows. We had 35 sold transactions, okay, pretty healthy. The median sales price of those transactions was $213,283. So a little bit lower than what we've seen in the past with Orleans County, but it's the type of homes that we're
Orleans
selling.
or Livingston?
Sorry, Livingston.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I was
Thanks
like, wait
for
a minute, I was
correcting
on the L.
No, we're still on L. Thank you,
Making
Nici.
notes and I'm messing it up.
No, you're right, Livingston. Excuse me. And then days in the market, a little less than Genesee County. We're 32 days to go under contract in Livingston County. And we had 135 new listings.
Wow.
Okay, so new and active listings, 135. And kind of how the color or the temperature of the market in September of 2025 in Livingston County was. It was a fast-paced month.
Yeah.
One of the fastest in Livingston County in the last year. And you saw a lot of opportunity where people were really concentrating on village homes. Okay, that's what they were looking at in September, and that's what the data reflects here. So one thing that we saw particular to Livingston County is that when they launched a new listing in the midweek, and if the sellers did delay negotiations in the next week, it worked. So delayed negotiation strategy kind of came back in Livingston County.
Yeah.
And they were launching midweek. They gave it the weekend. They maybe had an open house. And then people were writing offers quickly and things were going under contract rather quickly.
Wow, okay.
So a little bit of a pop-up there that happened in Livingston County. If we go on to our O, Orleans County, there we go.
Right.
September 2025 numbers. We had 27 sold transactions, okay? So 27 went closed in Orleans County.
Okay.
And the highest median sales price that we saw throughout the GLOW region was in Orleans County, and the median was $306,000 and change. So a little bit of a shift.
Yeah.
I always talk about Orleans County. You got some gorgeous properties up there, beautiful homes, but a lot of times it's not those level homes that are selling. They did in September. So their timing was right. Their days on the market were about 34, and there were listings, new and existing listings up there, about 110 listings.
They got their boom.
So they did good, So what I found there looking at Orleans County, too, is that when there was a premium home, they had a premium presentation, like an A-plus presentation, it sold, and that really impacted their median list price there.
Okay.
So, a lot of times you still have to price it right no matter what, folks. You're going to hear me say it over and over again. So don't overreach. And if you want to keep that high sales price in Orleans County, what we saw in September is maybe you are offering incentive to buyers, like maybe a buy down credit or a concession or maybe some repairs or something. But things moved in Orleans County, so that was great. And then we get to our W in the GLOW region, that's Wyoming County. And so in September of 2025, we had 39 closed transactions.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Did great. And the median sales price was $230,000. All right, and change. Average stay in the market was a little bit longer than the rest of the GLOW region. It was 40, but that's all right. And we had listings, new and existing listings of 97. So again, kind of the climate of rural and acreage-rich properties in Wyoming County, not surprisingly. And when presented well with great photos and realistic pricing, it made a big difference in getting homes under contract in Wyoming County. So a lot of things that are important when you do have those rural properties that you're selling. I always tell sellers when I'm working with them, and I'm sure your agent does too, that, confirm the utilities. What's the condition of the outbuildings if they're there? Do your homework and really present the holistic package of what you're offering on a rural property. If it's not just a single family home, you've got acreage, maybe you've got outbuildings, maybe you've got a gas well. What are all those things? And really package it well and present it from the beginning in the listing, because it's going to save you time and surprises later on once you go under contract.
100%. Couldn't agree more with that.
So that's something that I'm seeing there. So year over year snapshot throughout the Glow region, Genesee, Livingston, Orleans, and Wyoming counties, the median price is up. So in September of 2024, the median sales price throughout the Glow region was $217,798.
Wow, okay.
Okay, but now, September 2025, it went from about $217,000 as a median sales price to $276,000. So in September of 2024, it was $217,000 and change. And in September of 2025 throughout the Glow region, the median sales price was $276,000.
That's a good jump.
Oh, yeah. Big time. And it shows you the health of what our late summer market was in the Glow region.
Nope.
Yep. So there was new listings and closings both went up year over year. So that was great. September was a really good month. September 2025 was great for the Glow region and better performed than it did in 2024.
There we
go.
That's
great. The average days on the market is the big difference. So in 2024 in September, we had 27 days, and now it's a little slower at 35.
But still.
It's still brisk.
Yeah.
Right?
That's still really good.
Yeah. So what's attributing to all that? I think that buyers' payment, that monthly payment on that home when they buy it, their sensitivity is real. They're still thinking about what is their monthly payment. The interest rate had started to come down in September of this year. So those are the things where buyers, as we've been discussing, are pumping the brakes a little bit. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about financing throughout the Glow region as part of our market update. Cash and conventional dominate. We know that. That has not changed in a long time. But we are seeing more FHA throughout the Glow region. And so when we see that, that's good news for a lot of first-time home buyers or any buyers that qualify for FHA or other loan products such as VA or USDA. So we're seeing more financing options than we have previously, but don't kid yourself, cash and conventional still dominate the market.
Out of those two, do you know which one dominated?
I think it depends on, it's going to be conventional financing. Cash is always a number two of what I've seen. We've seen throughout the year where cash kind of came up as a dominating factor month over month, but I think it's pretty easy to say that conventional financing, we've got more financed offers than we do have cash offers, although don't kid yourself. There's a lot of cash out there.
It's crazy to me to think and realize, though, that is such a very high running type of purchase, I guess, is cash. But of course, with that interest rate going down, it certainly helped to boost.
Absolutely, Nikki. And I was just going to say that that's part of why you're seeing, I think, not only more conventional financing, but more financing options in general.
Exactly.
People are a bit more comfortable now. So that's great. And clean offers are still a thing, buyers have to think like sellers have to think like buyers. Buyers, when you're writing that offer, depends on the property. If it's something that's been sitting there for a bit and now you want to really go at it and think you can negotiate concessions and repairs and all that, you might be able to. You're certainly allowed to do that. But I think that sellers are still looking for clean offers. And they're still looking for shorter inspection periods, and they're looking for a flexible closing date, whether that be really fast, or maybe sellers need to be able to move into their new home. So buyers are maybe looking for you to be a little flexible with the closing date, or maybe offering them a rent back. So sellers are still kind of holding some control there, bottom line. I mean, it's changing, but I think I wouldn't say that this is a buyer's market yet. It's balancing, but it's not a buyer's market yet. So Sellers, like I've said, you have to think like buyers. If you want to win the payment, meaning you've got to think in terms of what the buyers are and what their monthly payment is to make a transaction work, to make an offer work. So if you win that payment plan, you win the buyer. If you're thinking like a buyer and what their monthly payment's going to be and you price your home accordingly, you're going to win.
I love that you use that analogy.
Yeah.
It's so smart.
You just have to, right? So sellers should care about buyer concerns to make a sale. You always should. It takes two to tango.
You're absolutely right, but very often you don't see it. Yeah. I hear you. Mm-hmm. You just don't see it.
I know.
As much as we want to or you should. Absolutely. I agree.
And depending on your property sellers, if you know you've got a property that's going to be wildly popular, it's in mint condition, it's a great location, you've already got people knocking down your door, then yes, the cream is going to rise to the top and you're going to have your pick of the litter. But I still think you need to be sensitive to what's going on in market trends. So, your checklist for sellers, let's talk about what I'm seeing for fall 2025 based on our monthly market update. Price your home in the band that sells, right? So look at those numbers with your agent. So you might be one of those sellers that says, well, I really want to try a little higher. But if the evidence is there that shows that, then you're going to have higher days on the market and you might not sell right away and you're okay with that, that's fine. But if you know, hey, if I price it here, I might get multiple offers over asking and still get my net, then why not put it in the band of pricing that's going to sell?
I like
Just
that.
a suggestion, okay? And then prep. You need to prep your home to sell. Your safety fixes. Tidy the exterior. Make sure that you're aware of what your utility costs are. Maybe you declutter, clean, make it show ready at all times. I tell sellers you should have your house ready, or homeowners in general, you should have your house ready to sell once a year, whether you're selling or not.
That's so true, and I try to. I literally have taken that and tried to implement that and things
try.
And I'm like, I just don't know what to do with my stuff.
You try. But like I've said, sellers, patience isn't a strategy, but pricing is. And again, there are some of you out there, sellers, I get it, that you're not in a hurry, quote unquote. But if you really want a successful sale sooner than later based on the market data, those are my tips. And buyers, here's your checklist. Get the approval ready. Get your pre-qual ready. Get your funds ready. Because you never know when that right house is going to pop up. And then you're scrambling. And you're going to miss out because you still have competition buyers.
Yep.
Right? So understand, buyers, that those homes that are 0 to 21 days on the market, those are still hot. Those are fresh listings and you're going to have competition. So if you're not ready to have competition, maybe you're looking at the homes that are 30 days and higher. Maybe you have a little bit more wiggle room for negotiation there for value. So those are the things you want to talk about with your agent. A couple other things real quickly for investors and land, because I know we talk about those things a lot on the program. Multifamily homes were really thin with inventory. So when we talk about multifamily homes, doubles, triples, a lot of investors like those homes, not single-family homes, duplexes. We haven't had a lot of inventory there. So we don't have a lot of data this month to talk about that. So have patience. If you're looking for a home like that, probably going to see that later in the market. We didn't see a lot of it in September.
Okay.
Land sales. They're not making more of it, right? The land is what we have. So what we're seeing with land sales in September, they were mostly cash. And it's important that you understand as sellers that you're working with your agent when you list it to verify your access, the utilities associated with land, really present that listing and everything that has to do with land, because people are being choosy. Even though land listings are hot, you need to understand what you're buying.
Are they hot in this area?
They are.
Glow region?
They are when they're priced right, for sure, like everything, and depend. What is the use of the land?
Okay.
Is it recreational? Is it an approved building lot? Does it have utilities? Are there improvements on it, like a barn already? So it really depends on what that land offers. Location as well. Frontage, so you want to really verify those things. So real quick to wrap up today, a lot of people will say, well, Gav, what do you think? Is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? What would you say, Nici?
Well, I mean, in reality, it's hard because I talk with you every week, so I can't help but to think it's a seller's market. But then we have a conversation, and I'm like, ooh, now it's starting to sound a little more like a buyer's market. So it's hard to, I guess, based off today in our conversation, I would say it's becoming slightly more of a buyer's market than a seller's market.
That's not a bad assumption in a summary. That's
Am I
good.
wrong?
That's good. No. It's mixed.
Okay.
It really is. It's mixed because, and you've heard me say here before, that it's a property by property market, in my opinion. But there's a mixture. There are more opportunities for buyers, so that would let a lot of people think that, are we getting into a buyer's market? We might be, but because the inventory is still really low, I don't think we're quite there yet. I think when priced right, sellers have the edge.
Yeah.
No. When priced right, buyers will think, great, it's priced right, but now you've got competition. So sometimes you might go for those higher priced homes, buyers, and maybe work out a deal that works because you have less competition.
And you're right. We are definitely in that moment of teeter-totter.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard, right? Yeah. I know. That's why I say there's not a good answer for it other than
not yet,
mixed.
Right now.
So, sellers are going to say, well, should I list now or wait? Well, it depends. Are you ready for the season? We're entering a season where we're going to get that snow on the ground and things like that. But if you're ready to list, I say go for it because the market's ready for you.
There we go.
So there's never a bad time. It's all about when you're ready, but talk to your real estate professional, talk to me, and we'll talk about that. And the other question I often get now in light of, our market update is, should I buy before I sell? So if I have a current home and I'm going to use this to sell next.
That's a good one.
It really, and we've talked about this on the show before, it really depends on the terms and what is your financial ability and what contingencies are there. So that's something we have to really unpack person by person, case by case. But call me. Call me at 585-344-1321 for your complimentary buyer or seller consultation. And we'll talk about and unpack further what this market update means to you specifically.
Absolutely. And as always, thank you so much for coming in this week. And we'll see you next week. Of course, go Bills.
Go Bills. Talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
We'll be back.